So, how are you all? I hope you're all really well. So today, the Hierophant for you folks, and I'm going to try and just do something a little bit different today in respect of show you a few cards, but instead of holding them up like I was doing on the last lesson, I'm going to try and swap my screen, and it's probably going to go pear-shaped. So I'm going to apologise in advance because that's probably what's going to happen. Well, the Hierophant, let's start off with the Hierophant today. It's a card that gets people in a bit of a muddle. And I can understand why, because as we look at this figure, the Hierophant, we see what looks like a pope, and we see him making this symbol or this sign with his hand, which is the two sort of fingers pointing in that way. If you look, you can see that, okay? It's just a very powerful sort of message from the Hierophant of a little bit of peace, a little bit of I am an authority, and it is just a gesture to people, you know, that you can trust me. Well, a Hierophant is confusing because I think people are going, what's that got to do with anything? Well, really, the Hierophant is all to do with authority. And authority is in everything. So although you've got a little bullet point list here on the screen today, and I will go through each one with you, let's just jazz it up a little bit and say to you, okay, the Hierophant is all about authority. And so that is government, it's councils, it's things that are official. It's the people that deal with your passport or your marriage license, or the people that marry you, or the people that actually say you can have a contract, as in you want to extend your property, or you want to do something in your garden and you want to fit up a permanent structure and you need to be able to get the red tape sorted out. It's those kind of official matters. It's HR when you're at work, you know, the people in human resources, people that will actually set about giving you a contract, as in for work or maybe for marriage or a license of some sort. It's officialdom, it's notaries, it's customs, things like that. So when we look at this religious figure, which, of course, it is also a religious figure in any sort of religious matter, whether it's a priest or whether it's the imam or whether it's the rabbi. Yes, people that actually give you permission or sanction what it is that you want to do. Sorry, I'm not watching my messages. Hello, greetings from Lima, Peru, South America. Thank you very much. Judicia, but I'm pretty much sure that I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Lovely to have you on board. And Divine Guidance, how are you doing? Absolutely lovely. We've got Tony and we've got Fiona. Lovely. So, do you remember, folks, if you would like a similar copy to the PDF that I am displaying? Hello, my dear friend. Hi. Can you tell me your name? Hi. It just says Facebook user. If you want to change that, your settings, you just need to be giving Restream permission, and it will come up with your name. Okay. If not, if you want to remain, just as Facebook user, that's fine too. But I don't know who you are, so I'm sorry. I'll get 20 Facebook users and I won't know who I'm talking to. So sorry about that. Marianne. Hi, Marianne and the Faithfuls. How are you doing? Oh, this is a fabulous, fabulous lady. Very spiritual, very gifted. Not gifted just spiritually. She does some marvellous things that I've yet to actually... Uma the First. Hey, Mum. Hi, how are you doing? This is a tarot workshop, so we are just going through some tarot cards. Nice to meet you. Marianne, she's a singer and a most fabulous singer at that. I am so thrilled to have you here. I hope you're doing okay. Really thrilled to have you along. So, lots of things, and Marianne does this amazing music that I'm doing great, Uma. Thank you. She does this fabulous music, and she records on a frequency that, gosh, I got a whole education one day because I asked her a question, and she was marvelous explaining it to me about the impact and the effect of recording on a certain way that has an effect that makes us feel good. And one day I might actually ask Marianne to come on and tell us all about it, because I couldn't possibly go through what it is that she told me. I was fascinated, but went a little bit above here because I didn't quite know how to do it. You're very, very welcome. And Fiona, dear friend of mine, and somebody that's done courses with me in the past, and I know she's feeling very tired today. And Fiona, the Hierophant, wow, authorities and lovely. Oh, that would be great. We could do that. I can bring you on an interview. We can have a really good time talking about all things to do with music, and particularly when it comes to the effect it has on us, because it's emotion. And tarot cards are all about thoughts, feelings, actions, emotions, intentions, products, manifesting things, and the great big lessons that we have going on in life. So our Hierophant works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Taurus. So if we think, who do we know that's Taurus? Anybody? Does anybody know somebody that's Taurus? And what are they like? When you think of a Taurian, what are they like? My mum's Taurus, and so is my niece, Anya, and Tony's granddaughter. She is also a Taurus. They're all born on the same day, would you believe, May the 15th, Jessica. And it goes on, So they're all different, even though they were born on exactly the same day. Remember the first, your dad is Taurus, right down to earth, exactly. So when you think of the Hierophant, if you know a Taurian, it's going to help you connect with this card. So you think of your dad, he's down to earth, absolutely, very grounded. I think of my mum, she's a stubborn lady, love her dearly, but she is stubborn. She's also very, very aware of her financial security. It's important to her. It's not about having a lot. She just needs to know exactly what she's got, so she knows how to actually have a strategy of what she's going to do moving forwards. And our Hierophant, as you can see on the key points here, is very much about finance and religious. Well, my mum, we brought up Catholics, and that's important to her. It has been all the way through her life. It's important to me too. It's, doesn't matter what our faith is or our background. Knowing all about tarot is just understanding what's going on in our lives, what's going on in the world, and we probably have some deep spiritual roots, whether they're religious or whether they're spiritual or whether they're combined. But there can be a religious feel to this card. Why? It's a bit like do as I say rather than question it. Yes? And your dad's religious, you're Muslims, and your dad is really religious. You see? This is exactly the point, you see? And somebody that is Taurian, and it will help you with this card. That's the point. You're picking up an aspect of this card and being Taurus and knowing somebody who's Taurus. And they're all different. I've mentioned 3 of my family, all born on the same day, but they're all very different. But there's one thing in common. They know what they want. And they go for it. And Jessica, she is absolutely meticulous, and she's got confidence. My mum isn't the most confident lady, but she's confident when she knows what she wants. So think of that person, connect with that card, feel it. This person is sitting there, okay? What are they doing? They are actually very calm. They have people in front of them. There's 2 heads there. We see their backs, these figures, looking as if they're perhaps kneeling or sitting in front of this Hierophant that looks a bit like a pope. And it's a sign that we are listening, that we have to pay attention, that we have to do kind of what they say. It's not because they're bossy, it's just that they hold an authority. This card is about marriage contracts, as I mentioned, but it's the people that marry us, and it's all to do with having to come up with red tape or things that mean that we have got to do something. We've got to go through the channels, your passport, your visa, your contract at work, how many hours going through HR, the contract that you're given for your job, whether you're self-employed, the taxman. Sometimes this comes up with another card, and with the Pentacles card, and it can be to do with the taxman. So yes, something like that, people in authority. There is a feeling of it's the keys to life, it's the things that we have to do. We haven't got a choice. We have to do what's relevant to where we live, or if we want to be part of that group or part of that circle, there are rules. It's like Facebook. You can do this, you can't do that. It's a form of authority that we actually need that kind of structure. There's conforming. We have to conform with it. If we break the rules, sorry, you're out. We said this was what you had to do, and that's how it is. But there's also a feeling of being a little bit hypocritical, hypocrisy. Do as I say. I know I didn't do that, but I want you to do it, and you've got to do it, and that's how it is. And I'm the boss of that. Also a feeling of keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if anyone ever remembers that programme, Keeping Up Appearances, Hyacinth Bouquet. Perhaps people from the UK will know that. This lady wanted to impress. She wanted everyone to see, look at a wonderful sort of cup of tea I've made for you, and look at the actual china that I've put it in, and the tray that I've put on, and I've got my best hat on while I'm making your tea in the kitchen. Bizarre, but look, this is how I look. I want you to see me in this outfit, and I've got my Sunday best on. I've got this wonderful dress on. I've got my hat, and here's my china. And be careful, don't do that, and oh, don't sit there, dear, and don't sit there. There is that kind of a feeling that goes on with this card, where you actually think, oh gosh, can't be bothered. But we do have to go through government rules, tax, VAT man, all of this. It depends where it comes up in your reading. It depends, where it is in your spread. And I work with pairs, so it depends what comes up with it, because a card on its own, it could mean anything like that. People say, well, how will I know? Well, if you, use the course that I actually teach online, as in, and you go and purchase that course and you get a bundle, you'll see how I work with pairs and how to actually combine them. I'll be doing some pairs a little bit further on in the workshop. I won't be able to go into huge detail, just little spotlight courses that you can actually come and join with me. For now, this is a workshop, and we're telling you what we can do, and anything goes, really. And so what do you feel when you look at this card? Do you feel a bit sort of like, gosh, I ought to sort of sit down and listen? Or do you feel like going, oh gosh, here we go, you're going to tell me what to do? What effect does it have on you? Or when you get a feeling, do you feel calm? Does it remind you of something? Perhaps when you're back at school, head teacher, that's somebody that's the Hierophant. So it's about morals and ethics, teachers, contracts, red tape, rules, tradition, official matters, and again, contracts. So there is that feeling that goes on here with the Hierophant, and people kind of just look at that card and go, I'm blank, I don't know what to say to somebody. Look at the colours, red, passion, danger, stop. Anybody? When you see red, just top of your head, when you see red, what do you think of? What does it make you think of? Is it whatever it is to you, that is part of your intuition connecting with this card as an intuitive reader. So knowing all of this, all these bullet points, is the meanings. How about the feelings? What do you feel? I feel like sitting still and kind of paying attention and kind of like oh gosh, what am I supposed to be doing? Should I stand up? Should I sit down? What should I do? And gosh, have I got my paperwork in order? And I'm trying to look as if I'm paying attention, that kind of feeling. That's what it is for me. Or it reminds me of my mum, who I've got the greatest respect for. And I understand her. I understand that, she's very grounded. She needs things done in a certain way. There are some Turians that will actually say it's Monday, gosh, that's our day for egg and chips. It's Sunday, it's traditional roast. Or, let's have an Indian. Oh, no, it can't, it's Sunday. What does it make you think of? I would not say, when I look at this card, I would think, what would I give this fellow to eat? I don't think I'd give him spaghetti bolognese. Why? It's a jumbled up dish, isn't it? I would be more inclined to go, okay, this is going to be traditional Sunday roast, or something that's a traditional meal, sort of from the culture that I'm living in. I live in Turkey, so I might want to give him Turkish breakfast. It's traditional, So this is the way in which you can connect with your tarot card, okay? So that's the Hierophant. Anybody got any questions that they want to ask? It's always a card that I remember when I was back at tarot school all those years ago. It was the one that people had gone, God, can't I just take that one out of the deck? No, you're missing out on so much. Think of a Taurian. If you don't know a Taurian, go and study one, go and Google it, find one that you like and go, right, I think I know and feel this person. Look at the colours. Look at the two that are sort of sitting underneath that Hierophant and, probably hanging on every word and trying to be dutiful and trying to show that they are disciplined and that they deserve to be in that sort of community or congregation or that group of people. Okay? So that's our Hierophant. So let's move on to the next one. And here we go. So you should be able to see the Lovers. Fiona, Tony, are you there? Are you seeing that on your screen right now? Because I've changed the actual image to the Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers is a card, beautiful card. It works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Gemini. So your dad is a Taurus, your mum is a Sag, and the marriage is chaotic. I absolutely love that. Uma, the first, you're brilliant. I love that. I can totally imagine that because you've got the grounding there of earth and then you've got this amazing sort of wanting to actually go beyond the norm, to keep learning because it's Sagittarius energy. Yes, you can see. Fabulous. Okay, I love that. Yeah, Sagittarius. Good. So Sagittarius, they want long distance learning, don't they? So you're a Sagittarius too. Love it. Fire. Action. Yeah, you know what you want and you keep learning and keep looking at how to navigate your way through life and keep developing. Love Sagittarius. Wonderful sign. And, the older I get, the more I'm in touch with my Saggy side in my natal chart. So back to the Lovers. But you see how it can bring your card alive. I had somebody say to me, I couldn't possibly remember all of this, don't worry. The whole point of me giving you these bullet points is to give you some meat on the bone. So if you take one aspect of it and you go, right, I'm going to go with the fact that the Lovers is Gemini. And if you look, Gemini is the son of the twins. Well, straight away you can see two people here and an angel. Okay? And if you look, there is a mountain in between them. So bear with me, you're flattered. You're very welcome. I like Sag. I love fire signs. I am with an Aries and I'm a water sign myself, Cancerian. I'm with Aries and, I throw buckets of water on him, but he is capable of actually lighting my fire and letting me go with what I want to keep progressing with in my life. And just kind of, why not? Okay, if it makes you happy, go for it. So I'm very blessed. Pick somebody that actually believes in just giving it a try. So there you go. Sagittarius Sun and Aries Moon and Rising. Whoa, but you're a busy bunny. Wow, love that. What a combination. Be careful of burnout, just make sure you rest. Okay, so back to the Lovers in conjunction with this astrological sign of Gemini, the twins. The there is a duality, isn't there, with the twins, okay, and with Gemini. You know, they can change on a dime, and they say, oh, twins. I always say, gosh, that's the minimum that there is going on with Gemini. It's all about communication. Why? Because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and this card is all about short journeys. It's about the physical attraction that we can see in the image of the card, Adam and Eve there, you know, ooh, I'm physically attracted to you, yeah? And choices to be made in the relationship. Now, let me tell you something. Can you see that mountain? Mountains in tarot always represent challenges that we have. I'm fine. Hi. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. We've got a nice group here today. Maybe I was meant to come on a little bit later. I don't know who you are. It's lovely. If you give permission to restream, I'll be able to see who you are on Facebook. If you haven't, don't worry, just type in your name. I wonder if I know who that is. I think I might know who that is, beginning with B. Hello, that's a nice comment with the lovely love hearts. You're very welcome. Ask any questions that you want to about this little workshop where we're just having little bullet points about the tarot cards, and today we're doing, it is Laugh Out Loud, Mrs. Rarinda. Lovely, you're very, very welcome. So today we are talking about Hierophant, and we've been discussing the Hierophant. Now we're on to the Lovers, the exciting card that everyone, when they want to read it most of the time, it's about love matters, 80% of the time actually. Shouldn't just say all of the time because that's not so. But we need to know about our relationships. Well, this is a card of relationships, but it depends upon its power and what you bring up with that. I'll be talking about that later. So what we'll do is we'll whiz through the cards in this workshop, and then I'll show you some tips and tricks and get you actually sort of just chatting to me and telling me what you think and what you feel and all of that. Today, we're going through these bullet points and we're looking at what you feel when you look at this card. So there's Adam and Eve, and they're attracted to each other. And if you look at that tree, can you see on the left, there's fruit on her side, and on the other side, he's got what looks like branches with what looks like burning leaves or something of that nature on the right-hand side. So they're seeing things different. She's nurturing, okay, and he's in action. Action, leaves, trees, branches, wands, fire, okay, action, things that we do. She's wanting to nurture in a different way. But look at the snake. What does the snake make you think of? Anybody? You know, a snake in the grass, you know. Some people go, oh, I love snakes. Great. Then it's positive for you. If you don't, and you think they're sneaky or slimy or terrifying, it's usually representing temptation in the tarot card. But mountains are challenges. And that mountain in the background, well, how I read, if I'm reading for a client, I will always put 22 pairs of cards out, but I read in pairs. So basic pair would actually tell us something. So let's use this card. It's a fabulous deck, folks, and I'm going to do, I've got this ready for my Instagram post in a little while, okay? Let's just bring that up to the camera. Right, this is a deck, whoops-a-daisy. Okay, this is a deck called the Vice Versa deck. And it's called that because it's got a front and a back, and I'll show you that in a minute. But just for today, let's say we get the Lovers and the Four of Wands, which is what this card is, okay? It's usually that mountain that you can see in the Lovers card, I'll hold that a bit higher, is telling us what's going on with the minor card. So the major card tells you the subject, the minor card tells you the background effects that's involved, okay? So in this case, this is about physical attraction to what? Maybe a property, home, okay? And the reason, look at this card, okay? I'll hold it a bit higher. Vice versa. We're seeing them at the front. Now we're seeing them at the back. I'll show that a little bit clearly. I want to buy tarot cards that are beautiful. Oh, you're asking the wrong person. I'll be showing you some in a minute. So, yes, I've got so many suggestions. Are you, Uma, are you in my tarot group, Talk About Tarot? I'm Tarot with Anne-Marie, so you're very welcome to join in that. Or, you can write to me because you're on YouTube. I'm delighted that you're on there. Contact me and I can do a bullet point list. I'll probably put it on the group. But yes, I've got some great suggestions. Beautiful, gosh, it's so many. But I would really say something that's beautiful is the Baba Prague Tarot. Okay, Baba Prague. Go and have a look. Now, there is a fabulous website called Eclectic Tarot, and that's spelt with an A-E, and then I can't spell the rest of it out here for you at the moment because it's too long. But Eclectic Tarot, and go and have a look at Baba Prague. And there is, if you're into cats, they've got a cat stack. I will be bringing on, keep watching because I'll come up with all sorts of cards. Well, I'm kind of doing this. I'm kind of wanting it to be very informal, but I do want you to actually be able to follow what I'm saying with the bullet points and then make it a bit of fun. I'm hoping to swap my camera and show you some images of beautiful cards that I've got out here today. But the Baba Prague, I think, are absolutely gorgeous. And there is the Victorian Romantic Tarot, one of my, Baba Prague, the Victorian Romantic Tarot. They do loads. They do Bohemian Cats. They do even a Gothic deck. I gave that one away. It just wasn't for me. It's the only deck I've ever given away. I just wasn't creeped me out. I just thought I can't read with it, and it might as well go to somebody that might make use of it. So the only deck I ever gave away, actually, by the same people, but just not for me. I think I just went mad and wanted to collect them. They're quite expensive, but honestly, they were well worth it, and they, I think, come from Czechoslovakia. Absolutely gorgeous. But if you go and have a look at that, I have on my YouTube video, Uma the First, I have used one of those decks in the 12 signs because I do a reading for you. I will go and have a look and see if I can find it in the playlist as to the ones that I used that were Baba Prague Tarot. Okay, so I'm not in conjunction with anybody. I just if there is something beautiful, then it's good to share it and recommend it. And of course, I love collecting. So the mountain can represent the problem or the obstacle in a relationship. Okay, replying to Tony Platt and my phone. Okay, no idea. Right, okay. Talk amongst yourself, that's lovely. Okay, choices to be made within the relationship. So if we had, for example, as I read in pairs, so I'd pull out the Lover's card, and you've got to excuse me, folks, my face is hurting today, and I really feel like I'm chewing my cheek, so you have to forgive me. Okay, so Four of Wands represents, a structure, a home, a place where we can be ourselves. So if this came up, I'd be saying, right, there's choices to be made regarding home, properties, or modification of properties. And there's the back. Look, how fabulous is that? But you've never had a deck where you can actually go, oh, they're at the front, and now we're looking at them as if we were standing behind them. Just great. So, that's a lovely deck. That's called the Vice Versa deck, so I'd also recommend that. So yes, let's say third party involved in a relationship. Well, if you're going to pull that line out, it's because you see a court card, and court cards are people, okay? And people say, oh, I don't understand them. Don't worry, we will go through all of that in the nitty-gritty of just having fun, hanging out here and doing some tarot lessons and some chit-chat. And if you want to go deeper, I have online courses and you can study them through the website. You can't download them. You can just buy a bundle. So you just buy the majors or the minors or whatever it is you want to do, or just the court cards. It might be bits you're stuck on, and then you might kind of go, I think I might have a look at that one. That's what it's for. But this is, it's very light. It's very frothy. It's very easygoing for people to actually relax and enjoy a little bit of tarot. So third party may be involved in the relationship. It would be a court card. So would it definitely be that's the third person in the relationship? Doesn't necessarily mean it's a lover. It could be interfering friend, mother, sister, brother, represented by a court card. And the court card would, if you know your court cards, which is lovely, you'd be able to look at the aspect of that court card. They're showing up as an Aquarian or a Saggy or, Capricorn or whatever it is, Virgo, whatever. So if you use pairs, where you're all getting stuck by learning your card and going, but I don't know which one it is. And what if I say, oh, your person's having an affair because, Anne-Marie said third party may be involved in the relationship. No. What do you feel? What do you see when you look at the next card? That's why I'd always recommend pairs. I honestly don't think that you're able to give an in-depth reading without going, could be this, could be that, could be that, and I've done it for years, without reading in pairs. That's why I never would do anything different. Of course, I know the individual meanings of each card, but fusion, bringing it together, and then that fusion goes on even more. I tell you what, folks, I have got the most amazing, mind-blowing deck to share with you on an unboxing that I'm going to be doing soon called the Shuffle Tarot. Whoa. It did my head in, and I teach this stuff and I practice every day because I've always got a client somewhere along the line, or two or three, thank goodness, You're more than welcome if anyone wants a reading. That's what I do. Just contact me at hello@tarotwithanmarie.com. Sorry. It's the nature of being able to fuse it all together. Yes, it can be a card of temptation. So, we might be seeing that, this person is looking for something more. Again, let's use the Four of Wands, tempted by a property. We're reconciling, in which case you're building strong foundations. Yeah, commitment. Are we going to have a house together? Choices of the heart. I love that house and you don't. And we're kind of like, we're having a disagreement about this property. Building a life together, you see? So just used an odd card to kind of give you an example of shuffle your majors and then shuffle your minors and pull one for each one. But we'll be doing things like that later. But just giving you an idea so that you don't feel overwhelmed by just learning individual cards and going, I know what they mean, but I have no idea how to read for somebody and which one of these bullet points would apply to them. Short journeys. So it means not overseas travel. There's no long distance travel with this card. It's short journeys. So, somebody might say, the person that I'm talking about, can you see, if they are living close by? Well, if the Lover's card came up, I'd say, yeah, in your vicinity. That's how you know. Okay, so choices to be made within a relationship can come up. Short journeys, communication, third party may be involved, and that just does not mean, oh my God, they're having an affair. No, you may get a court card saying that, and you might get a Queen of Cups. Well, that could be his mother or his sister or his next door neighbour, bossy, interfering or upsetting or, I feel sorry for them. And every time, I see that person, I end up kind of staying longer than I should and I let down and I'm sorry about that. So it can have all sorts of things, but you build up the picture by adding more cards and it will tell you the story, okay? But you need a basic something. So Gemini, well, they're fast thinkers. And if we look at this card, we can see this angel, giving them blessing and, sun, beautiful. And they look grounded. Look, there's the green, lush grass. They've got their feet on the ground. They've got this physical attraction. And, they're attracted to each other. So you've got the clouds there representing. When you see clouds in cards, it just means that we can't quite focus. We can't see everything. Okay, so it's kind of like something's a little bit hidden, and when it clears, you'll be able to see it. So they're getting to know each other. They don't know each other yet. There's just this physical sort of attraction going on here. And those colours, the radiant Rider-Waite deck. I'm sorry, I'm going to have a sip of water because I am chewing my words today. Sorry, folks. Okay, so I now want to try my little experiment, which is I'm going to try and switch my screen. Fun fact, Marilyn Monroe was Gemini. Uma the First, this is exactly, you are the kind of person I want in my class. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Some feedback, interesting fact, fabulous. Marilyn Monroe, she was Gemini. So when you are stuck choosing somebody, I did this last week. I talked about famous people that are certain sort of star signs. Today, I couldn't think of a Taurian apart from most of my family, and you don't know them, but think of one. If anyone can give us an interesting fact about a Taurian, I'd be very, very grateful. So we've got this Gemini here, as in Marilyn Monroe. Well, we all know Marilyn Monroe. This is what I'm saying. Thank you, ma'am. You are gorgeous. I am so grateful to you. This is the kind of person I want bouncing around in this workshop with me, helping us all to go, now I know what he's talking about. She was amazing. She was a really complex person. She may have looked as if, gorgeous. Look at the duality of her, how beautiful she was, how feminine she was. But she had this amazing, complex character and nature. That's Gemini. That's the lovers. If you get stuck, think of a Gemini. Forget about the card for a minute. Who do you know that's a Gemini? It will help you, okay? And not all cards, the major arcana. Some are planets, some are astrological signs, okay? So, like the Fool is the planet Uranus, and then we've got the High Priestess, she's the Moon, and so on. Okay, we've got, the Emperor, she's Venus, okay, and then we go into the Emperor there with the fact that he is Aries, and then we went into the Hierophant, which is Taurus, and now we are with the Lover's card, which is Gemini. It will help you identify and connect with the card. Look at the colours. What do you see? Is there movement here? Well, they both look like they're standing still, but they're not going like this, like they were in the Hierophant, bowing their head down, or making that sign. You've got this gesture, sorry, from the angel, and then you've got their hands down showing they're open. Their body language is open. They're not folding their arms and kind of going and closed, and they are, she's looking up at the angel. What shall I do? He's looking at her. I love it. Okay, so, right, I'm going to try and swap my screen. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute, because I'm just going to show you, if I can, on my desk without holding up, some Hierophants, different designs, and different cards, and some lovers. I've got 3 examples to show you. This is the Rider-Waite, because you might find a deck that not only do you fall in love with, but you might find a deck that speaks to you, that you can read with, far better than following traditional Rider-Waite. We all use that because it is easy to point out what things mean, like the mountain is an obstacle. She's looking at the angel, what shall I do? I'm waiting for divine intervention to tell me what to do and give me permission. And he's going, I'm going to do, my human nature thing, my male thing. I'm a creature, I'm a male, I'm going to do this. So 2 different creatures, different things, symbology, clouds, waiting for things to clear. The angel, blessing. The sun, enlightenment, divine intervention. And the source, the energy supply. Hey! So, and it worked. I practiced that, okay. So can you see my desk? Okay, so look, put those there. There's a Hierophant, okay. So I'm going to bring my comments box back up. So this comes from, I've even got it here for you. This Hierophant image is from the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, okay, by Poppy Palin, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know, it comes that you can have all of that. So there's loads and loads of different things. But the images in that particular deck are much more in keeping with our current life. Okay, so we've got a rabbi, or what looks like a guy that is a rabbi, and we've got the congregation. So can you see the Hierophant? This is much more sort of in keeping with the modern day image. It's probably a bit confusing for you to see my hand. Kind of underneath my face, but I've got two cameras. I was trying to be clever, you see, so I hope it's working. So this is the Hierophant coming from the Everyday Enlightenment Tarot, okay? And then I've got another example. I'll just move that there for a moment, okay? There we go, there's the priest. My light's shining on that, sorry. It does say the Hierophant, okay? Gosh. Sorry, it's a bit shiny, isn't it? It does say the Hierophant there. Okay, perhaps if I hold it down, you can see it. Okay, the Hierophant, and this comes. You can see it now. It's the shadow. You see, it's the lighting. I've got a big light above me so that you can see the desk properly. And this comes from the Urban Tarot. Yeah, I'll be unboxing all of these and kind of going through each card with you all. But there we see, a modern image of a priest kind of, standing there giving his sermon. There we have the rabbi. So yeah, it's still got that religious feel to it. But, it's one of those things where I'd like to see, the fact that it was the government, that we had a politician, but that's kind of hard to actually represent as an image. Okay, right, let's move that there. So that's working okay. Right. I did a deck years ago, as in with an artist, a graphic designer. I can't draw, just tell them what I wanted, because when I started a business, as in with tarot, I wanted to be able to have my own deck of cards. So that's my version of the Hierophant. I perhaps wouldn't go and do that today, so you change. I love it. Nothing wrong with it at all. And I wanted it to be simple. Can you see how my one is sort of like popping out because it's graphics, whereas there's a lot of detail here. So mine are more, I did them. I made a physical deck. I just had the right people in my life at the time. Made a physical deck. But the whole idea was graphics to actually show clean on line images on computer that was simple enough to be picked up. You see, you can lose something sometimes in the detail of showing these sort of on camera, as you can see there. And I've got the lights turned up. I've got 3 huge lights, which, gosh, it does make you tired sort of with so many lights, but, otherwise you wouldn't see it. Lovely. Good, good, good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, I'll get those on the screen. Okay, so yeah, I've even created a tarot deck. When did I do that? 2006. Okay, so yeah, I'm old. Privileged to get older. I'm not complaining. The Lovers. So this is, again, sticking with the Urban Tarot and the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. Okay. You were born in 2006. Oh, you're adorable. You're so young. I adore it. So 2006. That's when I created my deck. Oh. Wow, if you're interested in the Summa the First, I tell you, you believe me, it's an acquired skill to read tarot. But if you are learning now, you started nice and young, and that's perfect. Perfect, just perfect. So look at this, the Lovers. Oh, rose petals, scene of generations playing in the background. They're older. They're still in love. Look how he's looking at her. Look at the unconditional love represented here by the dog. Yeah? The choices they've made. Look at the swans. Children. Lovers. And you know what? this is so lovely to see sort of, multicultural sort of scenery going on in the background. I just fell in love with tarot, and now I'm trying to, well, just keep turning up here, because honestly, I'll help you as much as you want, Uma, the first. And, here we are. I love it too. Here I am doing workshops. And why? Because I love it. And because sharing it and helping other people. I have a job that I love. I've been a professional tarot reader for 30 years. Do you know what it's like to be able to do something you love every day and then cram it with more and more and more? I've read and read and read. I've taught it as in person. I've taught it online. Now I've actually made it so that it's available as an online course, so you don't even have to be there in person. And now we've got these things like Zoom and YouTube and Facebook where you can learn. So you honestly, you're going to have a ball. I used to have to kind of go into London and search through libraries and bookshops in order to be able to find what I was looking for. So you'll have so much fun. And this one, the Lovers. So you're welcome. Thank you. So have you. I'm delighted. So the Lovers, again, I'm going to just say that this comes from the Urban Tarot. I'm holding the box like that so that you can actually read that it does say the Lovers there, you see, because with my lighting. Yeah, I know that as I take it away, it's hard to see because the light's shining. But it's sod's law, isn't it? We're not in a studio, but I make my studio here. So this is the Urban Tarot deck. Yeah, and that's this one. And there we have this wonderful, wonderful scene of a marriage. Yeah, showing us a modern day image. How lovely, how lovely, how lovely. And I'll show you mine. Again, simplicity. Two hearts, they care about each other, connected by the rainbow, love, luck, earth, keeping them together. They're earthed, the water representing the emotion, the earth representing they're grounded, the mountains, the challenges that they will have, the struggles yet to come, but they're happy. And this just represents the chakra, and you can't really see it, but tiny clouds there. The mist again is clearing. So that was my simple deck. I've got so many decks, but believe it or not, simple, simple, simple. We will just kind of bring in those that can help people. Some decks are beautiful but hard to read, okay? And the reason I'm just showing you these is, number one, it's wonderful to use my cards, and I'm going to do some unboxing. I am going to be coming on to YouTube and doing unboxing, and probably Facebook too, of the Groovy Weight Tarot, which is fabulous. I love it, okay? And I'm going to do it a bit different to how others have done it, just so that there's a little difference, okay? So I'm going to say ta-ta, folks. Thanks for joining our tarot workshop. Please, if you would like a copy of the PDF that I was using, or a similar one, yours will be a white version with more bullet points, so that I'm trying to not give you a story. I've given you the story a little bit in the workshop. We've had a chat. We've had fun. Hope you had a coffee. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you tell your friends. And please do like, share, subscribe. Let's share. That's what it's about. And ask questions. I used to go to tarot school. I was able to ask questions to my teacher and to my fellow classmates. It's kind of what I'm trying to do here. But, I know people are going, well, I don't want to be distracted. I just want to listen to what you're saying. That's fine. But I also do want interaction. If you want to ask a question and you feel a little embarrassed to do so, you can always write to me. So the address for the workshop worksheets is hello@tarotwithanemarie.com. tarahwith.com. I don't use that email very much apart from my business, of course, and I sometimes forget. And my website, of course, is tarahwithmmarie.com. I'm on Instagram, etc., 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 YouTube, Facebook, whatever. You can find me somewhere. I'm going to be hopping onto Instagram to do a couple of pulls for today's card. So if you're on there, you can also watch my reels and IGTVs. So I try and mix it up a little bit, so there's a little bit of everything for someone. Okay, you'll find me somewhere. So for now, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time. Brilliant. Bye.